In the hallway, Caden froze and blinked a few times as he saw Talia dashing from Damon's room into hers. He rarely came to the third floor, but today Caden was there because he wanted to make sure that Damon woke up, since Damon told him he would be out after breakfast, and they had an early start. Of course, Caden would have used MindLink, but Damon shut his side down. Caden didn't know why Damon made himself unreachable, but now that he saw Talia scarcely dressed coming out of Damon's room, Caden understood what happened. Caden turned on his heel and went down the stairs with a spring in his step. He opened the door of his room and sashayed toward Maya, who was fixing her hair. Maya gave him a questioning look. "Did Damon wake up?" "Mm-hmm." Maya eyed Caden and saw that he nearly burst from saying something seemingly important. "What happened?" "I won the bet." Maya looked confused. "What bet?" "When Talia came here, I said that Damon would get her into his bed within a week." Maya frowned. "What?" "Don't try to deny it. I said 1 week, and you said no way. I just saw Talia escaping from Damon's room into hers, and based on her appearance, she slept in his room." Poor girl. He moved fast. Caden didn't understand Maya's reaction. "Why poor girl? They're mates." Actually, I wondered what took him so long. It's obvious that the bond drove him crazy because whenever Talia stayed away from him, he got distracted. She lived just across the hallway, and considering that our alpha has no concept of patience and self-restraint, it's a miracle that he didn't drag her into his room on the first night she came here. Now that they're together, Damon should act more normal. Maya thought that some things didn't add up. If they're together, why does she leave his room? We both know that mates have difficulty staying away from each other, especially while the bond forms, because the initial flow of emotions fuels insecurities. And if they share a bed, why does Talia try to leave the pack house? Caden didn't have answers to Maya's questions. You should talk to her again and see if she changed her mind about leaving. I will. After breakfast, Maya felt frustrated that she didn't get a chance to talk to Talia. Damon hovered around Talia, putting food on her plate and feeding her, and as soon as they finished with breakfast, they headed out. Damon didn't even tell them where they were going or how long they would stay, but based on the instructions he gave, they would return later in the day, probably in the evening. It seems that our alpha wants to connect with his mate, Caden said to Maya when it became just the two of them. That's what I would do. Don't you think it's too soon to celebrate? What do you mean? Talia didn't reject his pampering, but she didn't look like an enamored girl who spent the night with her mate. Maya voiced her observation. Is it possible that she doesn't know what Damon's intentions are? Caden burst into a hearty laugh. Maya, my sweetie pie, I don't think that even our alpha knows what his intentions are. Caden saw that Maya didn't find it amusing, so he cleared his throat before continuing. What I tried to say is, if Damon wants Talia to be our Luna, he should just announce it to everyone. With that, the pack would become aware of her existence and protect her while she takes the place that belongs to her. And if he wants to reject the bond, he should have done that a long time ago and not let her stick around. You're saying that Damon is toying with Talia? Well, not exactly toying. But maybe he has a plan and he makes the situation ambiguous until he figures out. Yeah, toying is not the right term. Maya made a face. What happened with you messing with Damon until he spills that Talia is his mate? Caden spread his arms, palms up, showing her that he had nothing. Come on, Sugar Plum. It's been only a few days, and I didn't get a chance to work on that. He saw that Maya pursed her lips, and there appeared a familiar spark in her eyes, so he asked, Are you going to interfere? Maya didn't respond, but Caden took her silence as a yes. Ah, he loved when Maya made a move. His brilliant mate always knew which strings to tug on and how hard in order to get the desired result. Did you call Alpha Edward? Caden's question pulled Maya out of her thoughts, and she frowned. Not yet. I guess I should get that out of the way first. Damon enjoyed the sight of Talia, who looked at everything with her eyes open wide and a big smile on her face, unable to conceal her excitement. Talia's eyes sparkled. There was loud music, colors, lots of people, laughter, cheers, and the scent of delicious food. And she never would have guessed that Damon would bring her to an amusement park. During the hour-long drive, she guessed if they went to the human town where she visited the hospital, but she recognized the scenery as they zoomed past that area and drove further away. A gentle squeeze of Talia's hand got her attention, and she looked questioningly at Damon. What ride do you want to try first? Or do you want to try candied corn? Chocolate-dipped pretzels? Talia shrugged and shook her head at the same time. Everything sounds great, but I've never been to a place like this, so I have no idea where to start. I want to try them all. Damon chuckled. All right, let's start with the closest one. And he led the way toward the merry-go-round that had seats shaped as carriages. My lady? He gave her his hand to hold while climbing on the ride, and he even bowed a little, and Talia giggled while thinking how Damon looked like a prince from her Cinderella book. Damon felt pleased with Talia's reaction. He contemplated where to take her, but he knew that a romantic spot would freak her out, so he decided on an amusement park. Talia could experience something new, and he would get closer to her without her suspecting anything. Damon had no idea how to woo a woman, and everything he read online confused him, so he kept his plan simple. He would stick to Talia and make sure she had fun, and she would get used to his presence until she realized that he became an essential part of her life. And then he wouldn't fear her reaction when she found out that they were mates, because she would already be in love with him. Damon felt confident that this would work. It happened to be Sunday, so the place bustled with activity. There were food, games, and rides, and people crowding the space made their hand-holding a necessity. And more than once, Damon held Talia's shoulder, pulling her to walk close to him so that they didn't get separated. Perfect. As they walked by the stalls, Damon noticed Talia looking curiously at the headbands that had animal ears on top. He grabbed one with brown kitty ears and put it on her head. A kitty. It suits you. He smiled at Talia. She wanted to remove it, and he grabbed her hand before she could reach the headband. Do you not approve of cats? Should I get you the one with bunny ears? Or would you rather be a mouse? There's nothing wrong with cats. The problem stemmed from the fact that she didn't have any money, and she felt uncomfortable that Damon paid for everything. Then, keep it on. I want you to have a souvenir, something to remember our first visit here. He paid for the headband and pulled her to the next stall that offered face painting. Damon took the brush, and after 2 seconds, the tip of Talia's nose turned black, and she had 3 whiskers on each cheek. Damon looked at his handiwork and nodded in approval. Now you're a kitty. My kitty. Talia didn't know how to respond to this, but somehow it confirmed that she served not only as Damon's pet project, but he actually saw her as a pet. That would explain why he wanted her to sleep in the same bed. Damon and Talia took a number of rides that rotated, shook, went up and down, and by the time they stopped for a snack, Talia's legs felt wobbly. Damon happily held Talia around her waist and supported her until they reached a bench to sit on. The nearby stall sold bacon-wrapped corn dogs, and they enjoyed them with soda that washed down the greasy food. Are you having fun? Talia nodded enthusiastically. Yes, lots. Is this your first time here? It feels like it. Damon paused before explaining. I had a group of friends, and unless something else happened, we would come here on the weekend. Talia noticed that he spoke in the past tense. What happened? Why did you stop coming? I became the alpha of the Dark Howlers pack. As alpha, you couldn't come here? Damon shook his head. I stayed busy, and they became my subordinates. You can't have fun with people who bow their heads to you whenever you raise your voice. Talia nodded in understanding and continued munching on her corn dog while her heart tightened. She realized that 10 years ago, Damon didn't lose only his parents, but his friends as well. From the story Stephanie told her, Talia imagined teenage Damon at the center of every party, surrounded by his peers who admired him and girls who hoped to catch his eye. Overnight, Damon turned from a carefree boy who received love and admiration into a scary alpha everyone obeyed. Yes, he had a lot of people around him, but they either served him or tried to get something from him. So far, Talia thought of Damon as moody, scary, indifferent, powerful, caring, but she never saw him as lonely. Until now. This revealed another side of Damon, and it made Talia's heart ache.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.